Welcome back to another episode of the Only Messin podcast. This is probably the first podcast that we're doing after publishing our episodes. So, lads, I want to ask you a question. Has the fame gotten to your head now, huh? Has it?
I've left the house, sure.
Yeah, like two people listening, but we're fucking big.
Man, it's just
child came up to me asking me, was I that guy? And I just
Jesus God, doing a
don't even think it was about the podcast. I think he just needed help with something. Anyway,
oh lads, I have a fucking just weird story here. Like, I'll let you do the intro, whatever the thing. Like,
oh man, it's done. That's literally the
that's
intro.
It.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, no fireworks about it, man.
Lads, I got really paranoid in the supermarket like the other day, right? So like,
why did you get paranoid?
No, I was like, because I think it was like 5 days ago. Like, I was in the supermarket. I was in Lidl, right? And next thing, I was just walking. I had my headphones in. Next thing, this guy like taps me on the shoulder. And he's kind of like, he looks a bit wired. I don't know what it is. He just kind of looked like, I just got a dodgy feeling off him. And next thing I was like, who had this it? And I was like, what? And next thing I was like, what time is it? And next thing I was just like, it's this time. And he was like, oh yeah, no problem. And next thing walks off, right? And next thing, like 2 days later, I go back to the shop, a different shop. Another dodgy fella just goes up to me. What's the time? I was just like, oh man. I was just like, all right, this is too weird. Like, I'm definitely being buttered up to get like robbed or something. They're fucking checking out. Like, I don't know. It was so weird. Like, I just had this horrible feeling afterwards. I was like fucking like walking home really fast. Oh, it was so weird. I got at the door. I was like, why am I like? And next thing I was like, is it just me? Like, am I just like paranoid for no reason? I don't know. It's so weird.
It's just coincidences, right? I mean,
like, I probably if it happens the third time, I'm actually going to punch the guy in the face.
Okay,
get away from me! Have a panic attack.
I don't know what time it is. Get off my ass! And next week episode is going to be conducted by just Ollie, Kieran, and I. Since Owen, you have probably landed in Dutch jail
for
assaulting someone. Yeah.
I'll be on with my my like legal representative. Like, start the podcast. I want this to be on the record that I struck the man in self-defense.
Oh my God.
Same thing though. I was bringing my dog for a walk, and like, since it's a puppy, like everyone's stopping. He's gorgeous. Nobody laying on him. He's gorgeous. You know. Yeah. And these two old women stopped me. And they're like, he's lovely. Like, and they were like, now mind him now because he'd be the one they take. Look at him, he's lovely. They only love to take him. Jeez. And I never thought of that, like, until they said it. You know, and then I was walking along, and it felt like every car passing me was like slowing down. And I was like, am I getting like robbed right now? Is this for real? Like, is this dog going to be ripped out of my hands? Like, and next thing, I made like my round. I did the walk with him, and I'm like at my drive. So like the way my drive goes about, I don't know, 30 foot from like the end of my driveway to my door, and I get halfway up my driveway, and I just hear like the brakes of a car, and like a car like revving behind me, with its indicator like, you know, like clicking left. And I just turn around and I go in the door anyway. And when I go in, the car just drives off again. I was like, there's just no way. Like, it's definitely just taking a phone call. But like, I'll be honest, I haven't brought the dog out since. Like,
well, dog nappings have gone up fucking God knows how much since lockdown, to be fair. I'm afraid to let my dog out the front door by itself. Like, I only take it on a walk when it's with me. I won't let her wander out the front.
Yeah, because I haven't had a dog in ages. You'd forget that stuff about, like, you know, just like dogs going lost and people stealing them and stuff. Like,
man, I don't have to worry about that shit. Like, my dog will steal the other person. Like, you know, he'll take him into the underground. Like, you know,
just grab him by his bloody throat. Like, you know what I mean? His fucking body. Like,
he'll fucking bring it to you as like a gift. Just like, look what I got for you.
With Polish dog, you don't take dog take you. I just imagine
Yeah.
like your dog like somehow being able to speak English and just being like, good evening, Greg. I was out this evening and this gentleman, he was not very kind, so
Oh my god. For some context, the dog is a German Shepherd. He's quite
Yeah.
big.
Kind of
Quite
important.
big.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a killing machine.
Meanwhile, like it's just a Chihuahua, like a fierce Chihuahua
Yeah.
that tackles anything in his way. Although these dogs can be quite fierce.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway, what you call it? I think for this podcast we were supposed to talk about our college experience. I think it's funny. It's funny how your college experience, Owen, of acclimating to the Netherlands has led you to being paranoid in the supermarket. So I wonder how your first week was like moving from Ireland to the Netherlands. Were you as paranoid as you are nowadays by being asked what time it is, or were you okay for the first week?
Nah, but just my first week, like my flatmates just knock on my door and I just have a pure white face and I just stare at the wall for like 12 hours at a time. First week was a bit weird. I guess I think it was like because I initially moved over, um, just like my parents and my brothers came over like with me, just small holiday like coming to the Netherlands and stuff, and yeah, I had them there, and I was just like, it was nice being able to like just chat to them and just go like, ah yeah, like be nice to see what to expect and stuff. And next thing when they left, and I was just in my accommodation, I'm like, I know no one over here, like what I mean. I just like I just have to do all this shit from scratch, and I was just like, did I make the right decision? Like, and next thing I was just like, yeah, I think it was just a gradual thing of just like meeting people. You just like, get friendly with your flatmates and then just like bounce off from there, and then like college and stuff. But yeah.
How did that go about for you? Because you clearly going into like a different country, there's no contacts that you have. So how did it come about that you actually ended up getting friends? Because that sounds like such a mean question. Like how do you have friends?
Yeah,
fuck
You
took
out of
time
all
out of their
people.
day to talk to you.
I guess they no fucking no. They used to have like roof parties every night in my like accommodation, so it wasn't too.
Wow.
You get to meet a few people, but no, it's just a load of coincidences how I ended up hanging out with the people I did. It was like I was just going to the shopping center like right across from my accommodation, and I was just some guy looked my age, and next thing I was like, oh, like, are you living like in Upsilon or whatever? And he was like, oh yeah I am. And next thing he was like, oh yeah, do you want to see like my apartment and stuff? Like the apartments were exactly the same. I was like, I mean, like, it's a bit forward now, lad, but like, you know what I mean? If I give a drink or two, I go up to your apartment or something. But like, no, and next thing I visited him there, and next thing it turned out that one girl who was living right next to me, her friends were up on the seventh floor. That's where it was, and yeah, it was a load of coincidences, and it was just a lot of stuff just saying like, oh yeah, just like it's easy just to hang out with these people, and that's who I did hang out with, like, to be honest. But I suppose it's different in Ireland, though, is it? Like, you know what I mean? Just like,
And were all these people like Dutch, or were they like
uh,
same thing as you? Like they were just like, oh fuck, I'm on my own. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there's people like a lot of kids. They're like, they had like parents working in like international companies and like oil companies and stuff, and they were like really used to like moving around to different countries like every like 3 years and stuff. So they know the drill. But like, just spending like basically your whole life in Waterford and then just going to a different city. Because I think what I noticed was, it was it's really, I kind of noticed how like people like get to know people who they don't know in like Ireland at least. It's like, oh, like it's like, oh, like, where are you from? Here. It's like, oh, do you know this fella? Yeah, I know him actually. Like, and next thing it's like, yeah, it's that. But then you can't be like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Slovakia. It's like, oh, do you know this fella?
do you know the McNamara's now? Fucking, they be living down the road from your mother now.
But they'd be your uncle's brothers, aunties, son.
Once removed.
I love that stuff though, like the way those connections are being created, because I never have that stuff like for me, like moving over to Netherlands, I had like already experienced moving to a different country, so it wasn't as difficult. But I love those like Irish things that you go back to. Sometimes I'm in my another person's house, and their parents are talking about knowing someone, and they make this like crazy family tree connection. It just seems like a murder mystery with lines being attached to like cousin this.
I think Irish people are just obsessed with knowing each other. Like, I don't know of any other nationality that's so obsessed with it. Like even when my mom is telling me, or like say someone like my auntie or someone's telling me a story, it's not enough to tell me the story. They have to go and now Sheila. Now, before the story goes on, now Sheila, to you, do you know your uncle Tom now? His best friend Motorhead, his son now. His son worked in the army, and in the army he was a sergeant, and the other sergeant's son was your uncle's first cousin, once removed on a Sunday, and that's how you know him. Anyway, so and then they continue, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
But you met Bridie, didn't you? You met Bridie. It's like, yeah, when I was 3. It's like, yeah, you do remember. Like,
you know what?
I don't. Like, I just have no idea. Like,
I think it is just a thing that we do, like, that we just want to know everyone, because I think we just want to be involved and like be like, yeah, sure, I know him. Like, tell him to come over. You know.
Does the calculation get easier at times? Because I feel like with experience, like, can you more easily connect the family, like the relation to you that person has to you? No, it's still...
when they say that stuff, you just nod your head and go, yeah, oh yeah,
oh, why not? Like, yeah, if it's like under 3 degrees of separation, you can keep it. But if it's just like 7, like, it's just like, like nothing. But
I was gonna ask Ollie about like his experience, because first he moved to Dublin, Ollie, for college, and Owen mentioned student accommodation, and Owen and I think share the same like Dutch company that does student accommodation in the Netherlands, and it's basically like the buildings that they have are just made for students, so each room looks exactly the same, each apartment looks exactly the same. What's it like with student accommodation in Ireland?
Pretty much exactly what you just said there.
Really?
But to be fair, I've stayed in 2 separate student accommodation places in Ireland, but they are the kind of high standard ones that I stayed in.
No flex.
It's just, I kind of wish I didn't, to be honest. I kind of wish I didn't, to be honest with you.
Wish I lived in a fucking shithole.
Wish I lived in a kip.
The house I live in now is fucking far from. It's not a kip, but like it's one of those it'll do, and it's the happiest I've been.
Man, I like your house though. You showed me a video of your house.
It's small. It's cozy. It's a nice way to put it, I suppose, but it's nice. But the student accommodation, you just meet some fucking
creatures.
Be careful how I word this.
Creatures of the night.
Bag of creatures, I suppose, is the best.
A selection box of people, like, you know.
Yeah. Nearly just you know when you open a box of celebrations and it's nothing but bounty, and I know
I was just about to reference the bounty, like you meet a few bounties along the way.
Literally, it's just like, instead of to be honest with you, the one I stayed in Dublin, it's just a celebration box full of bounties, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck is this? Half them don't speak English, half them don't know how to clean, half them don't know anything about being polite, and then you kind of just go, wow, that sucked.
This is a pleasant living experience. Yeah. But it is kind of like what kind of apartment?
9 luck. Then the second place I stayed in Cork, pretty much the same nature, except it was mainly Irish people of younger age, so they actually were my age. Because in the one before there was like middle-aged people, there was some 30-year-olds, maybe a lot of master students and some PhD. But in the next one I stayed in, there was a lot of students at our stage, very entitled.
Oh Jesus, that's nearly worse.
Aren't really aware of the fact that how do I put this? Money's not in this.
Yeah.
They fucking love sessions. Now I'm not like, to be honest with you.
Just like
Yeah, a lot of that.
Shouting on the Revolut, man. Like, I literally don't even care, man.
Imagine that, but it's a Cork accent, so you don't know what they're saying. Anyway,
They love to see
so
it,
you
like,
just
"That's the card."
you have the cat. Oh, sure, have it with the card. It'd be going up there, fucking grand.
Shout out to the Cork listeners.
Love Cork.
Oh man, we don't have anyone, to be honest. Like,
we don't have one.
I think we do actually. One of
Do
the
we?
lads here, he's from Cork. He listened to it once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, hello, and I'm sorry that we're just racist.
Do you speak English? No, I'll be mean. But they just loved, they fucking loved sessions, and I'm not particularly a huge fella, as of late, for going out. Like I'll go to the pub.
Ali, I hate to burst your bubble. I think the whole country isn't ready for going out at the moment. I know, like, it's just, no one seems to be open.
Kieran, don't mind that now. Don't mind that.
Before lockdown, I'm talking before lockdown.
Going for a proper one now. Like,
For fuck's sake. Before lockdown, alright, so.
His jimmies are rustled. Nah, go on, seriously, go on.
Alright. And you would just, since this place I was staying in was relatively new, nice.
Nice.
A lot of people, you see, Cork was just filled of a lot of, there's a lot of basic student accommodation places, and then there's a lot of houses. But the thing is, they go, oh, this fucking sick place here, we're all piling here now, will we? And so you're just trying to go in and cook your fucking bolognese or whatever, and there's some cunt doing a fucking line of ket on your counter. He goes, oh, sorry, mate, do you want some? I'm just like, oh, here, would you fuck off? I'm a chemistry assignment I'm doing.
Let me add a little bit of spice to this bolognese.
Just want to cook me minced beef. Want to get my fucking tea and a few biscuits. I want to go to bed and do my fucking work. You brain shit.
gets his European health insurance card out. Like, it's just like, all right. I'm bounced now, like, you know.
Like
I'm gonna eat my bolognese.
And the thing is, they had, to be fair, there was about 2 or 3 people I was living with. I think there was 8 in total in our flat, and there was 2 or 3 of them who were fucking dead sound, really nice guys. But their music taste was fucking disgraceful. It was just, and they had these giant 2 foot tall, maybe 3 foot tall speakers that they would throw into the front room.
What? Like, what's
you
bad?
can carry around?
Like, what's bad music taste? Though?
Oh,
Yeah, what's the bad music?
like it's not even, people go, oh, what, you hate techno? No, I think techno has its spot, but when it's just noise and beat, just it's just
what is it? French? Is it French techno?
Core. It's like French
No,
core.
it's just some shit. It's just shit. It doesn't make any sense. And what they'll do is, there's a TV in the front room. They'll look up on YouTube 24/7 stream Strobe Lights. So you'll walk into the room, open for maybe a coffee or something, and you just have these dickheads here, off the fucking gone, looking up at the sky with drool coming out their fucking mouth, and they're just going, all right, bye, and then you're just like, oh, just the 6th day in a row now. It's a work.
The fact that it's 24/7, like they require it that long.
Yeah, stream. It's like 24/7 stream. It's not a video.
Oh,
That makes it better.
24/7 of what? Just like music and
No.
just-
Imagine, you know, when your TV goes blank, right, and it's black. Imagine that, except it just turns to a different color, constant.
Oh,
Two
there's
percent.
no music. It's just the lights.
It's just the lights. Then this shitty fucking music blaring from these fucking 2,000 euro speakers, and you're just kind of going, you could be using all this stuff so much better, but you don't.
Where's the Kenny G? Where's the freeform jazz?
Where's the jazz? Where's the traditional music? But that was, so I was, as soon as my friend just went, oh, my brother's moving out of his house now, because it's quite hard, before the COVID pandemic, it was quite difficult to get a house in Cork. And he just goes, my brother's going to be moving out, and he said to the landlord to put our names down. I was like, oh, thank fucking God. Because living with 3 people, and it's people you know, they're going to be respectable, you're going to clean up after yourself, you're going to have a fucking good time with them, and it's more simple.
Yeah, the responsibility isn't diffused.
It's not walking into a room and going and hearing
cooking, yeah.
Anyway, that's
and just the sound of spaghetti being slurped into your mouth while someone is also at the same time snorting lines of cat, man. I just love that dining experience, man.
Yeah.
Like, some people dine in the dark, but I mean, you could also dine with like a Cork man doing a ket on the side of a table.
So Bartek, what was your first week like actually?
Oh man, right. So I moved here with my dad at first. He kind of came over with me like a little mini holiday, but it was 3 days.
We smoke weed, Bartek. We take a crazy cake.
The funny thing is, my dad's like, every time I call him,
Your dad's a legend.
yeah, he's very nice. Every time I call him, he's like, Bartek, I was at the Parcel Hotel last night. Where are my gummy bears? And I'm like, Dad, I'm not sending you any gummy bears. He's like, I need to relax with your sister. And I'm like, but
Look at me, I'm the Snoop Dogg, I'm the Snoop Dogg.
Snoop
That's not how he talks.
Yeah. It's absolutely.
Yeah, Kieran, I'll send this podcast over to him so you can come down your house.
Yes, so he can beat the shit out of
I
you.
just see the van pull up outside my house like, okay, Kieran, it is time for you to answer to your sins.
While you're over with your dad, was it?
Yeah, I was over with my dad, and we rented this hotel, right? This cheapest hotel in Rotterdam, which is still quite expensive, right? I don't know why hotels are this expensive in Rotterdam. But I had no geographical knowledge of Rotterdam at the time, and I managed to book a hotel in, let's say, the shadiest part of the neighborhood, like one of the shadiest parts of Rotterdam. So the first impression that my dad got from Rotterdam was just people selling drugs on the side of corners, right? And the second impression was, we were going to see my accommodation for the first time. I was going to get my keys. I lived in a similar accommodation to own. And we were walking, and we entered the street where my house building is on. And we saw, I think it must have been 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we saw this guy leaning against a wall, this young Dutch guy leaning against the wall and getting sick all over the place, right? And meanwhile, I had no college experience before. So I was like, holy shit, this is what college is like, right? I was like, people just day drinking and getting sick all over walls, you know?
Unreal, man.
Which then I realized what that person, there's basically, when I used to live in that old, in the student accommodation, there were 3 male fraternities around me, like Dutch male fraternities, and I think that guy was part of one of the Dutch male fraternities.
And they piss me off, like,
man. Stop!
They're so annoying.
Are they like the American ones? Like you have to like
similar
like grazing and stuff.
Yeah. There's hazing and stuff.
Hazing, not grazing. That's what fucking counts.
Yeah.
It's like thing like in the Netherlands, like on average, like 1 or 2 people die a year because of like hazing or some shit.
It's
and
fucked
it's just
up.
like it's messed up. Like I think one guy died because I think he drank like a huge thing of like pickle brine or something. like I know it's like sad that a fella died, but like what a stupid way to die. Like honestly, just like
really cool.
pickle brine. Oh man.
I actually have a story that's not from me, but it's from someone who goes to Trinity, and it's actually fucking crazy. So Trinity, I don't know if it's back up and running now, but at the time I heard this, it was like taken off the press. They have like this Trinity like newsletter that I assume like the journalist students kind of do, like they do one in Cork, I think. And yeah, this person, someone on the paper wrote about they would stay in Trinity in the main campus after like they were in it like, you know, around midnight, 1 a.m, because like open, do you know what I mean? Like, you can go in whenever you want. And they said they saw these people. Do you know, if you're not from Ireland, I suppose you won't get it. There's like this kind of bell tower kind of structure right in the middle of the main kind of
Trinity
courtyard
campus,
of Trinity.
like, yeah.
And there was these lads standing underneath it in a circle around this person doing a kind of like hazing kind of thing. So they wrote about it anyway. And
What was it?
I don't know, like they just said that there was like these suspicious characters like fucking, you know, doing like ritual like things like under this tower. And I
It's like a
fucking joking
pentagram
off.
in the
She
middle of
goes to me, and the next day the paper was taken off. They weren't allowed to publish the paper anymore.
Oh wow!
So there is definitely there could be something going on in Trinity, like this secret society, because like Trinity is not like other colleges. It's like completely independent, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It like
Yes.
has its own funding. It
Oh,
it
wow.
gets funded off the government, but it can fund itself as well because it's like a museum and a tourist
Oh.
spot and all that shit. Like, but that's fucking crazy that like something happened and they wrote about it and they were like, "Fuck off! Don't even think about it." Like, so that was just something when he said Hayes and I just thought of that. Like, that's fucking crazy.
The whole fraternity, like relationship with colleges is pretty weird, to be honest. Like, I think it's just because like they bring in a lot of money for the college, like in certain instances. Like,
I've never experienced one, to be honest.
I think it was really cringe because I was like, when like basically the first week I came over and the fam was still with me, like, and we're just walking down the street and it was like it's like that South Park episode where like Randy tries to get into like the PC group, like,
Oh my god, the PC fraternity.
and he had like a white T-shirt with "pledge" written on it. Like, it was basically the exact same thing. It was just a load of Dutch lads with like white shirts on them and shit written in Dutch on with like black markers or something. I was just like, man, like, it's so sad. Like, why do you do this? Like, you know what I mean? I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? I guess people like that stuff. Like, you know.
I mean, like, you're trying to find your identity at that age, and if you can cling on to a group identity, even better, because then you just subscribe to a list of beliefs that have been directed at you by like some older fraternity members, and then just, you know, those beliefs are often harmful. And like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. It's not a big fan of fraternities. So that's why when I moved in, I joined one fraternity. No.
Alpha Kappa Delta, bro. Fucking represent.
Yo, Alpha Kappa till I die, bro. Just pulls down my pants, reveals a left butt cheek that has like a little, you know, Greek symbol on it.
Fucking horseshoe, like on yours.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my like kind of first week of experience. Like similarly to you, I kind of made friends with people through like, you know, just coincidence, bumping into people. And it's I think it's just like anywhere you make friends, you just it's all coincidence.
But I'd say our, like, Bartek, myself, and yours experience like is probably the opposite from Kieran's, because like, yeah, just like Kieran, you just basically you probably knew a lot of people in your like course.
I literally walked in the first day and like I was like, oh grand, like I fucking knew like 90% of the people I saw, like,
yeah,
maybe not directly, but I was like, oh, there's your man now, or like there's your one. I know of her. Like, it was kind of sobering because I was like, I was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be loads of Waterford people here, but there's also gonna be loads of other people. But all I could kind of pick out was the people from Waterford, and I was like, this is so weird, like, not just seeing these people like on a night out or something. Like, they're just kind of doing the same thing you are, and then also living at home, which for like the first year and a half I was like, oh, this shit, boy. But then like second year, no, even the first year, but it was like, oh, fuck this. But then second year I was like, I'm actually so glad by some effort having a house, because I realized that like I never had to clean up after pre-drinks, never had randomers in my house, never just had people barging into my house like, hey, or like ain't that shit that comes with it. Like, so
yeah, man,
I got to just enjoy it. Like I wasn't in my house at all for like second year, or you know, like the better part of it before COVID. I was like just like never in my house. It was class, like, and I could just come home and sleep in my own bed. It was kind of ideal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was weird. I was actually pissed off like when I first started. I was like, this shit, man, this isn't what it's supposed to be like. It wasn't supposed to be like this, man. No, it's like yeah, I was like contemplating like dropping out and like just taking the year out and going maybe to Cork or Limerick. But then I just said, fuck that now. Like, I'm in the thick of it now. I'll do a year and see how I get on.
Commit, like, yeah.
And I actually ended up enjoying it then. I was like, I'm the only thing I'm not doing is like living on my own. And there's fucking plenty of time to do that. Like, not to, sounds like I'm rolling over, but it's also like, what's the rush?
Yeah.
I'd rather pay like a few quid to my mum and dad like for staying in their house rather than like giving it some shitty landlord like fucking spits on me when I give him money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh lads, I have this fucking landlord, right? Most comedic name, right? His name is Jack Chen, and he's I think he's Dutch, but I don't want to call him Chinese because maybe he immigrated from China. I mean, he might be Dutch. I don't want to be like that. But I literally
I'm just like that.
I met the man twice in like 2 years of living. I've been living in the same accommodation, right? I met the man twice. Literally, all the man is to me is just a name in my fucking bank account number. Like I just can't like send him like the same rent every month. I just see J Chen, J Chen, J Chen
in brackets, fucking black hole because my fucking wallet's empty.
Yeah, but
Could be a like a pseudonym for all you know, like you know what I mean. It just could be.
But what you call it? I was gonna ask you, Kieran, because obviously now like with us. Actually, no. I have a good. I prefer to ask this for Ollie. Like Ollie, you had an experience of living in Dublin. Yeah, fuck you, Kieran. Like, I was just gonna say, like the first year, like you had an experience of living in Dublin, right? For a year, of college. How was that? Like in comparison, because I want to know like what it's like studying in like an Irish town, where yeah, well, Dublin is not like it's a city, man.
Yeah.
Dublin is a city.
All that shit I could care less about.
Yeah.
Tiring.
God,
Tiring.
man, you sound like you went to the trenches. Like
No, it's just it was. I just don't think I was mature enough, to be honest with you. I didn't get the course that I wanted, and I had a pretty negative pretense going into
probably
it.
just fucked you up from the start.
And yeah, it was kind of up to me to get over that, and I don't think I did. No, I didn't actually. There's no think there. I know I didn't, and I was quite bitter and quite pissed off because I did work quite hard, to try to get the course that I wanted, and due to the flawed fucking educational system, it was actually one exam of 2 parts that fucked me out of that. It just tossed everything out the window, but I had points to burn. And and I just, to be honest with you, this is no offense to anyone who's perhaps doing a level 7 course. I didn't want to do a level 7 course, and it the people that I met in this one specifically were just not the kind of people that I'd be used to. Quite a bit of ignorance and arrogance. Quite confusingly, I couldn't really get my head wrapped around it. So I wasn't really fond of the people I came across. Dublin was a very fucking expensive place to live in.
Yeah, weren't you saying it's like a $5 going out? Like if you wanted to go anywhere, it's just like 5 or 10 or like...
No, 10. I can't. There might have been somewhere I might have paid a £5, but 10-15 euro entrance on.
Yeah, when I went out in Dublin, like it was 15 minimum. That was like a Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I know.
God.
So I had fuck all money. Well, okay, wait. I had fuck all money. I was doing a course that I didn't like. I was surrounded by people I wasn't particularly fond of. I was pissed. I was fucking angry and tired. I'm pissed. I was pissed off and angry. So I'm not gonna be able to give you a fair fucking boo-hoo, poor me. But I'm not gonna be able to give you a fair fucking pretense of it.
I suppose, Ali, you did go to like a different school that is like designed to like get you to where you want to be. Do you know what I mean? Like Yates is literally like the
I know.
fucking,
You work your arse off for 2 years, which I did, and I bottled it on A exam.
Oh,
not incredibly. Like I didn't completely fuck it up, but it just to an extent that it did shaft me to an extent, and that's like how. And there are some universities that go, "Oh, here, don't worry about that. We actually offer a entrance exam
like
for that
WIT.
particular." I think I could be wrong. UCD and do UL do one? I'm not sure.
And WIT.
And WIT.
No, Ali, that's always an option.
I was never in a million
Come
years.
home.
Kieran,
We
no
miss you.
offense. Kieran, no offense. Was never in a million years ever going to go to WIT.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't want to. So yeah, I can't really give you a fair answer. I'll just give you one of kind of a negative bias.
Yeah, give your subjective answer. Like, don't be objective. Just completely be like, give your opinion.
Yeah, go on, boy. Do it.
Well, you kind of gave your opinion. I
Yeah, this
suppose.
is recording now, lad. So
I was about to blurt out something that I might have regretted saying.
Oh, but
I think I answered it. I think I
Yeah,
answered.
no, I think you gave a good
I
answer.
don't think
Sorry.
I don't need to elaborate anymore. Now, there's some people who go there. I'd say if I was in a course that I was like, yeah, this is suiting me, or yes, this is the course that I wanted, I would probably have gotten through those other difficulties just fine, knowing deep down that I was doing the right thing. But I knew I wasn't doing the right thing by being there, so kind of fucked it all. So enough about me. Move on.
actually, Kieran, I wanted to to switch it around. I wanted to ask you about like the nightlife in Waterford, because I've experienced nightlife in Waterford only in, I don't know, the 6th year, I guess.
Yeah.
And like often when I come back, what is it like being like constantly going out in Waterford? Can you just walk us through the experience?
I don't know, man. Like, you know, I mean, the only thing I didn't have that G had would be that I didn't have the new place. Well, I actually did, because Factory opened up a nightclub in Waterford. It just opened up like in first year, so we had that. So we had like this new place to go to, and I was actually grew to like actually enjoy techno music on a night out, and like just kind of stop. My problem with the start of first year was I was so worried about the college night out, like how it's supposed to go, and then I just stopped worrying about that and just started enjoying what was happening. And I actually really enjoyed it. Like, now it got to a point which was quite shit. Like in the long term pre-COVID, I didn't go out from about December to February.
yeah,
And then like all the places closed. So like I haven't been out in like a town kind of sense in about fucking over a year now. But like I think Waterford, like loads of people come to WIT from like Wexford and fucking these counties for the nightlife. Like I think we do take it for granted because it's on your doorstep, but it's like to have more than one place is quite a luxury to people. I'd be talking to people from Wexford. Now I don't know if everyone's in agreement, but they're like there's like one bar and like one nightclub.
yeah.
And then like people from fucking Longford, like there's like fuck all, like it's like a pub. So it's like, you know, I enjoyed it. The only thing is, like, bar like 2 weeks of the year, it was like kind of the same shit every week, but like you still enjoyed it. Like it wasn't about the acts for me. It was more like just kind of going out and socializing and the drinking, man.
The socially acceptable drug, you know what I mean? Just the drink, you know.
Going into Masons, man, getting that fucking. They don't have the €3 deal, don't they?
Oh,
€3 deal.
No, I remember
€3 pints, lad.
I never got a pint in Masons in my life because I'm not disgusted. Like,
it's all Tuborg, boy, all Tuborg.
No,
I think we mentioned what Masons was, right? Just before we continue.
Masons is
a disco for
the kids'
underage drinking.
Of town. It is where it's the first place you get into, and probably like the last place you want to be come the age of like 20.
yeah. Like 17 to 19-year-olds, like, you know.
Yeah,
even 19.
But yeah.
I'm messing.
And I have to say, like, for Ireland, like, I don't know, compared to like when I went out in Dublin and Cork, like the drink was fairly cheap.
Yeah,
Now
of
cheap
course,
cheap compared to the Netherlands is fucking like robbery. Like it was like you could get 3 drinks for a £5 sometimes, which is crazy, or like 2
it's
for.
It's about the same though. People go like,
Kieran,
it's $2.50 a beer, but they give you like 250 milliliter beers instead of like a pint. Like, so it's kind of a false equivalence, like.
Yeah. Anyway, that was like 4 minutes of just like absolute waffle, but no, going out in Waterford was quite lit. And one thing that Waterford has, it's definitely like in other counties, but I never saw it, was Jars, it's a self-service pub.
Oh yeah.
And man, I fucking loved that place. Like, it was actually so serious. Like there was an American fella there, and like he gas you up so hard, like you just be sitting there, like drink. They did like pictures of like cocktails or something, and like you get one of them, and you'd be like, come up, like, yeah, can I get another? He's like, man, are you still standing after that? And you'd be like, yeah, boy, of course I am. I'm fucking serious. Or like top up your card, like you get this like prepaid card, you put money on it, and then you put it in the machine, and you can use the tap. So you'd be like, damn, man, are you after emptying that card already? Like, yeah, I have, man.
Give me more money, man. Come
What are
on.
you saying?
just like subtly like calling you on your alcoholism, like, you know what I mean? Just like, yeah, you finished that already, like
calling you out with a
drunk.
smile and a high five, like.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's all I have to say on that. It's pretty good.
Man, you're making me miss this. Like you're making it sound very appealing. Like I miss going out now because of the COVID shit. But
I mean, going out in 6th year was such a laugh, though. I love.
Oh yeah, especially go on. Sorry.
I'll just say this, and you can see it was such like an event. You know?
Yeah, but
That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
True.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like I remember fucking going out for what was it like the teachers' night out or something like that. What's that?
Man.
And like all your like high school, for the people that are not listening from the Ireland, from like all your secondary school teachers went out with you. It was a crazy time. It was very surreal.
Very, very crazy.
Very surreal.
I have a sorry, I've been talking this whole time. I have a story from that night if you want to hear it.
Go on.
So I think Owen knows this story. Maybe Ollie. I don't know about you, Bartek. So I had a teacher in I'm not going to say what subject or anything, because just, I know no one cares, but I'm just not. And she was quite crazy in respects. And if I say this and you had her, it's supposed to give it away. To like give you a quick summary, every day we had to listen to The Chain by Fleetwood Mac, but not just any version, and an a cappella like boy group like choir version.
I remember that.
So you just have these fellas going Chain like every morning when you're just not in the mood for what you're doing.
I remember that, and she used to go like, lads, isn't that class?
You'd be like, the first time, we're like, yeah, that was actually good, but then like the 100th time, we're like, shut up. So anyway, it's the night out like with the teachers, and I'm just with like my other teacher like chatting to him, and your one comes over and like it was disgusting. Like I didn't want any part of it, but I was like, you're all over me, like get off me, like uncomfortably on me, like rubbing my shoulders, and disgusting carry on, like really, like in hindsight I hated it. But you can't say that because they were like, shut up, boy, with you, it's fucking class. I hated it, like that's
like, that's the dream, like, yeah, but then when
it is the dream, to be honest with you.
So
no, it really is.
So anyway, I get my distance and I like fucking lose her anyway. And next thing is like the point where you're all outside like chatting, and I see her, and I'm like, oh well, miss, like, oh, and she's like all over the place. I was like, miss, go home now. You're fucking drunk. Like calling her first name because she's not like my teacher anymore. I was like, oh, go home. You're pissed. And she just goes, and it just fucking so funny.
Oh my
Kieran,
God.
I have something that I wanted to say to you and the class for a long time.
Oh God.
Fuck you, you fucking stupid little cunt. I'm fucking sick of your face. I'm sick of all you pricks, and I hope I never see any of you ever again. And it got so bad to a point where a teacher had to pull her away and go, come on, we go home. Come on, we go home. And I was just there like, like laughing, like, you fucking stupid cunt. And it was just so fucking surreal. Like the bipolar carry on. Like it was fucking. The first half of the night was like really rotten and disgusting, and then that just capped off. I was like, this is just fucking. This is just a story I'm going to be telling for the next 15 years of my life. Like I'm telling like 50.
Kieran, I actually saw said teacher pulling out of a car park while I was walking with my girlfriend, and I think she recognizes She might just. She always just gives a funny stare. I don't know. I wonder if any of you have ever come across.
She's
her.
also
always,
a fucking freak. Like that could be.
That's what I
hard
mean.
to-
That's what I mean. She gives like this weird, not like ooh, she's looking at me, like a that's uncomfortable.
Let me shake your hand.
Oh, shake your head.
Can't
Yeah,
relate.
that's just my story of that night, lads. It was awful and amazing all at the same time.
It was quite whack, to say the least.
It was quite a goofy night.
It was quite goofy. Like I suppose that is the term. It's quite goofy.
Oh, God.
Man, imagine like we're just basically calling assault goofy. This is what you get in this podcast, you know.
Yeah. Verbal abuse, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was funny in the end, so it's alright.
Yeah.
For me, I think for like
No,
you know,
no
if I had a
one- no
problem
one-
with it, like
Oh god.
I think I came in actually at the end, like I was near enough to like ye like talking like that group, like, and next thing I was just I was just there with like my hillbillies like burger, just like just,
I'm just glad I have an alibi because like even when I was saying that, like I just get the vibe like no one's gonna believe this, but I'm glad like I have an alibi to say that actually really did happen, and I'm not just like pulling that out of my ass. Like,
because you know when you're kind of like on a night out and you're like a bit steamed and you kind of like forget, like you're just like, oh, where's this person? I better look for him. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, where's Kieran? Like, so I was just like looking
you
off.
fucking found me.
Yeah, I found you at the right time anyway.
Lads, do you ever get that kind of like guilt? Like sometimes
Oh,
I'd go
shit.
home, right?
Oh god.
At the end of the night.
What do you mean?
No, but like I'm just saying, like at the end of the night out, right? I'll come home and like I'll be hanging around with you lads, and I'll forget to say bye to one of you. And then before going to sleep, I kind of go, shit, lad, I've actually forgot to say bye and acknowledge this, man. Like, you know, I feel so
like-
bad then. Like,
Not to be blunt, Bartek, I've never gotten that.
Never
my
felt
fucking
that
life.
before in my entire life.
That's,
man, I
that's
just feel like you know, I should acknowledge ye before I leave, or like any person I was hanging around with, like being like, all right, bye bye.
I love you, boy. I love you.
I used to think that, but then I was just like, yeah, I know these people well enough that if they were able to say it to me, they would, like, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things. Like,
Yeah.
I just need to go to the Jags.
Me
Oh,
too.
this-
Imagine that, the timing. Great
Yeah,
sing.
yeah.
Great
Believe
caps
Bartek
thinking
and Ollie
like us.
together.
Say.
Dialogue, you know.
Imagine all of you leave now, and I just have to perform stand-up comedy for the next like.
I was down
3
in
months.
New Orleans the other day there, and
Yeah. So anyway, my wife. Am I right, guys? It's like Jesus.
you just have like this soundboard ready of just crowds laughing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love you. You're all too nice.
Do you ever actually think of like I don't know? One time I was considering not doing stand-up, but I was like, would this be an option for me? Like just kind of thinking about it, and I was like, no, I ramble on so much. I don't think I have the precision of a stand-up comic. Although we have like certain comics that are out there that are not really like that talented. I'm talking about aka Joe, aka the podcast lord. I don't really find his comedy that funny. Like it's just shouting at a microphone.
I remember I was in a pub with my girlfriend in Dublin
Yeah.
about jeez, nearly 2 years ago now. It is over 2 years ago now, and we had a good few in us. And there was an open mic. They were like, "Oh, if someone wants to come up and tell a joke," and then I just looked at it. I was like, "I have one joke by Lee Evans that is embedded in my brain. If I just got," and then as soon as I work up the confidence, my brain just goes immediately. Yeah, but what if no one finds it funny? It's like, yeah, do you know what? Fuck that. That's just yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Mm. Did you say it again?
Oh God, no.
Oh god.
No.
Oh god, the mic fell.
Is it
Hello?
broken? Man,
Wait, hang on. Ignore me. Continue with your. Oh,
we can't ignore this. This is comedy gold right there. This is like,
I
you know,
fucked
behind
it
the
so
scenes.
hard, lads. It's so.
Cringe.
Oh god.
Oh God.
When did you buy this mic? By
Help.
the way, Kieran purchased a new microphone.
Hang on.
there, and it came in, I think, yesterday.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself. There's a
Yeah.
bit of feedback.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
stop.
Hold on.
Jeez, don't tell me you're fucking brokish now. Fuck's sake.
I'm not getting you another one now.
Now listen. Don't look at me. Don't look at me when it's. For fuck's sake.
Do you know those blue jetties cost a lot of fucking money now?
Blue jet.
Money doesn't grow on trees now, huh?
Yeah. Bartek, I'm actually just looking at the picture of your barber now. Like, I just can't stop looking at him, to be honest.
He's a very good man. I told him to follow the podcast, so if he's
Man.
listening, shout out.
Man, absolute style,
Yeah, I was really I think that there was a little bit of a bromance going on about his style,
Yeah.
He has a very nice style. Yeah.
But what do you know what kind of era he models himself after, or is it just style in general? You know what I mean? Because I think that isn't a style you see too commonly anyway. Yeah.
I'm not sure. We can invite him into the podcast there.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But anyway,
Oh God, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry. Drop my fucking thing.
This is raw. This podcast is.
Yeah.
Speaking of raw, I need to urinate to all the listeners, so I'll be right back.
That's nasty.
Why the word urinate?
The word raw came to mind there.
Just the word of this fucking thing is piss, fucking.
Yeah.
Piss and piss, because the way it was going on, you swear I was drunk, oh God.
Oh no, to me, oh no.
What happened was I picked up my headphones and the microphone somehow just toppled over. And you know how some headphones, they're connected, there's two wires that come out of the headphones and they meet in the middle and it's connecting. You can't
yeah, you can't pull
somehow my microphone got stuck in there and I couldn't take my headphones out, so I had to do this whole fucking acrobatic routine with my microphones to get it out. To about at least 45 minutes by the looks of it.
Oh, dirty.
Anyway, so what are we talking about? Sports?
So Kieran, we're just talking about that one time you went down to New Orleans, huh?
Oh, don't talk to me about New Orleans, man. The city of life. No, I've never been there.
Some shitty laugh.
I've only been to Florida actually, and it was not even Florida. It was in
Some
Universal
man
Studios. That's it.
Never been to America.
Neither have I.
Always kind of wanted to go just to, because I think
Point
it's
and
one of
laugh.
those things where it's just oh yeah, you kind of feel I know, just Americans are just wired differently, you know what I mean, and not in a good or bad way, you know what I mean.
They are built different.
They're built different, yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's just kind of getting into, getting even trying to get immersed in that culture, you know what I mean, and just kind of seeing what it's about, because I only have taste, because just my cousins are American and I see them, but they're not their mother would be Irish, so that rubs off on them to a certain extent, so it's not yeah.
And can I just get one thing clear now, would they be your mother's sister's daughter once removed now, or what's the story there now?
No, Kieran, you know that fella who lives up the road, the milkman?
Yeah.
You wouldn't remember.
I do. No, I fucking do. I met him at the parent teacher meetings up in the school now.
Which parent teacher? Which one's
the young fellas now? Fucking he's in 5th class now. I met him. Fucking.
Oh, go away.
Yeah. Talking about being an electrician like his father.
My fucking fellas don't about being the next fucking Austin Gleason or Tygo. I get them mixed up the whole time, to be honest with you, but it's fucking.
Sure, they're all going to be great now, you know.
In their own special way.
Sure. Will we finish it off at this impression for this week? I think we've been running for what I assume. This is my calculated in my brain. Has it been 15 minutes, Ollie? You've been recording today.
Yeah, it's been 55 minutes. 50.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm off by 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Go
Lads,
off,
if anyone's listening this far, fair play to you. That was just pure.
I want to apologize for my banana peel slip. That was me dropping the mic.
What?
I suppose I only thought of this if you're in this far and like you got this far, if you could just hit like a follow or like do the 5-star review thing or something like that. You know, it will really help the brand expand
Shut up.
and like, you know, the franchise
We have a
Shut
GoFundMe
up.
in the description if you just wanna.
also have a Patreon if you just want to give the price of a pint a
Or a
month.
cup of coffee.
You know, a price of a chicken fillet roll, I think would be the best way to put it.
Chicken
But
fillet.
Next week's topic is rating the different delis of Waterford.
Yeah. Tune in next week for
Griffin stuff.
top 121 delis of Waterford.
Discussing the delis of Waterford with Piers Morgan. He'll be on next week. He has nothing else to do now.
Oh, man, I don't. What's the whole Piers Morgan thing?
Well, I'll tell you next week, Owen. I'll tell you next week.
Owen will tell you next week, even though we'll probably forget about it because the media would have moved on by then. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. It won't fucking matter by the time this is like.
by the time this is up, will we end?
Piers Morgan, I hardly know her. Finish it up.
Cringe.
Right, will I finish it up?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. You heard the man. Kieran said follow, like. I think it would be good just to know how many people are listening for now.
Fuck off while you're at it.
Yeah, but but yeah, thanks for listening today, and hope you enjoyed that waffle and ramble, which is I feel like if the podcast could be categorized as waffle and a ramble, I'll actually put that in, but I have it as personal journal because it just seems the most rambly.
Personal journal.
Yeah, man. I was thinking of like putting it as like something like a meme thing, like a I don't know, muscle and fitness, but like I feel like we just get
I'll
like
tell you what this is, man. It's the 4 old fellas in the corner of the fucking pub talking about nothing.
Yeah.
I agree with that, man. We're turning into those 4 old fellas. But on this note, thanks for listening, and hope you can tune in next week.
Bye bye.
All the best. Bye bye.
All right. Talk to you.
Bye.